I've actually worked on that for quite a while.
I didn't even think about it.
They are.
Oh, the catalog box will come back over? Right now,
Exactly. Yeah. So after the guys go around, they fix their order, they make sure everything's separated correctly, it's packed right. Of course, there's never no glass on glass, or metal on glass.
Yeah, well, that was one of my
After they pack it, they print out a label, put it on there, and there'll be a color. They put the color on, then after you put your color on, for your small thick boxes, you come up and every single line at the front of it has color on it. As you can see, there's red, blue, purple, pink, green, yellow. And just match it up with your box color that was on your invoice, and it's right at the top of the invoice. Match it up, you put it on here. We stack it nicely. We put it in the room. Use spacers. And you never do that. So when you don't have the name up here, you just put it right behind. And then start putting another one with the spacers. So it's a different name. Then after that's done, my palletizers will come over here and they'll go on this list. There's the green sheet and it shows all the drops that are up next. They just put it right on this line. They load it up. They get all the colors plus the can loaded up on the line. They bring it right down. Like what you can see what Ron's trying to do? What Ron's doing right here is they scan it in every single box. So like on the small pick orders, if they have 3 boxes, 4 boxes, etc., you know, whatever amount of boxes, it'll show up on the screen over here. It'll show how many boxes that drop had for that name. So they'll go right through here and they'll scan every single box. The point of that is to make sure that amount of boxes come up to the same as this amount of boxes. Sometimes, yes, we do have missing boxes, and we have to go repull those, of course, because it's got to go out. Besides that, they'll have a pallet over here. They bring bulk over as well. I'm sure you guys saw the bulk stuff. They bring that over. They start palletizing. They put on the small picks. They put that on there, and they go by order, of course, every single time. Besides that, that's pretty much it for there. Let's go ahead and go to the outgoing. Huh? Oh, yeah. Open box. I didn't have any over there as well. Open boxes are where we have to prov it. Now what happens there is it's not on the shelf, but it's in bulk. So our stock transfer guy, you'll send a prov over, which will be manager will go over there, hit manager out, sends the prov over, then our stock transfer guy just brings it right over, loads in the shelf, but right on your screen it'll pop up in this big blue, and it'll say your 6331 is ready. So you go grab it off the shelf, bring it up here. We always try to load our boxes up with the product it needs before it gets in line. Sometimes that can be a challenge because our stock transfer guy is really busy. But at the same time, if they don't, one of these guys will call them up. They put a number on here to let them know, to remind them what they're missing. Put the number on there. They go find it. They pull it off the shelf. They bring it over here. They put it in. They tape it up, and then they start putting it back on the pallet.
That's what we were talking about over the Devon over there. We have a receiving deal or whatever, so it's not on the floor yet, but we haven't marked the ride here. That'll happen. We have to go grab it out.
Is this the place where if it ends up on the wrong pallet and the box is missing off of one drop, is this maybe why does it, when it gets loaded, does it end up on the wrong pallet? Or the wrong
This
drop,
is a definite possibility of it ending up on the wrong pallet. More than anything else, I would definitely say. It doesn't happen very often, I would say, but I know it does once in a while. It'll get like they'll scan it. What'll happen is they probably scan it, and then some gets mixed up. You know, sometimes I've had it where someone's renting this area, and then they like mix up all the boxes, so we're trying to get it all figured out. But like I said, these guys are on a constant go all the time.
Where's all the pallets? Where's the last pallet?
Put it in box one on the pallet. So then it's like when people put it down, products have gone.
So it says that it was in the box, but it's not in the box.
Right.
A lot of that is usually do with that admin. It's a challenge, definitely. Like I was saying earlier, you really gotta watch your descriptions. But that's a lot of time that happens with that. Sometimes I will say they get things mixed up on the cart, and then you know, like they miss it or something, like a little item gets underneath their box, or maybe.
How about if they ordered like one product and they end up like with 3 products?
Yeah.
And if we're scanning things,
That
how
one
do they
I'm
end up with
still,
3 products in their box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you talked about. I'm actually still doing some investigating on that. That is a definite mystery right there in a sense. There's a couple different scenarios for that, but we're trying to get down to the bottom of it. Mike, did you have anything about that?
I didn't hear what you were talking about. I wasn't paying attention at all.
Well, that's okay. No comment.
No comment would have been.
And they have like 3 in the box.
Yeah, we were talking about this over here. Sometimes what happens is we have guys trying to be overachievers, and they pick they try to pull more than one order at a time. And when they go, and what we try to teach these guys is the package you pull, because we found is that's actually the most efficient way to do it, especially when you bring into the air things. But it's easier for new guys to just pull all the product in the packet area. So it's kind of a challenge from that standpoint. And what happens when you pull multiple orders at a time, they end up getting the wrong product in the wrong box. So it's scanned in, and so it's entered into the computer, but you a lot of times will see the full circle of that, where you have one customer over here who has all this stuff they didn't order that's in their box, and you have this person over here who's missing all this stuff, and that's what it is. These guys put it in the wrong box.
They don't like taking one order at a time when it's just one thing they're supposed to grab, 1 to like 4. They don't like, you know, run all the way around or whatnot. Although I do tell them, do not take your cart with you. There's no point. Just check your blue arrow for your inventory. Make sure it's there so that you don't waste the trip, and then run back and grab a few items. If you can grab it, you know, 3 things in your hand or 4, you might as well, and then come back and pack it instead of run that cart all the way around. Because that burns your energy right up.
It's kind of a balance, because we kind of incentivize these guys. We have a team environment. I touched on it a little bit. We have 5 teams of 3 out here in Smallville, and we group those guys together on their production level, their error reports, and how they're doing. And so there is some competition out here. And so anytime you have that competition out there, you get guys trying to find ways to get the edge, right? Sometimes when they have an order that has 5 pieces in it, it's pretty time consuming to run this whole deal for 5 pieces. And so they'll grab 2 or 3. And then they'll end up with that problem. And we definitely try to limit that, but it's our time.
Is this a short room today, Mike?
It is.
It is.
Here goes Daniel, your next
We
move.
have some guys out sick. We have the flu running around.
We got the stomach flu,
We invited you guys out today. Time for the flu.
So make sure you guys take your vitamin C today in your packet. I do have some free ones. Alright, let's go check out this outgoing bay, huh? So the outgoing bay is once these palletizers are done palletizing a pallet, they put on a blessing. The blessings consist of whatever the run is called, Q1, Q2, P1, P2, you know, A2, Ks, whatever it is, they put on a big piece of paper, so it lets the loader know, and the offloader and the truck driver as well, that this is pallet number 2, K2, /2 could be, depends on what run we have that day. So that's their blessing. After they do that, they bring it over here and they either put it in this 1, 2, or 3 bay. You guys might as well check this out.
Where we stage everything to go out.
This is where they stage everything. Oh, it's not that deep. 45.
That's
So-
finished product.
Yep, so after it's all done and wrapped, and they gotta wrap it really tight. The way that we check on wrapping is if your finger can go through like that, it's not good enough.
Not good.
Of course, it's gotta be tight. We leave our talons up here, our sales flyers, talons. Usually our dead pallets are always over
Yeah.
far
Repair.
outgoing. Devin loads up a few of his products because he absolutely has a ton of products. He needs as much room as possible. So we load a lot of his stuff in here. Like I was saying, they bring it in here, they load it up. Believe it or not, on a Friday usually, we have this stuff, completely stacked. We have to make room all the time. We have to move stuff, organize it consistently all the time to keep where we move in or run. Because what happens is, 4 runs will go out until that weekend. So it's got to go right in the outgoing base. So it can get pretty darn transacted. But I will say, Ron, palletizer, my old palletizer, he did a really good job of organizing it and set up. Besides that, trucks come in right there. Sometimes they'll offload produce in here. Any questions, by the way, about anything?
When
No,
the
that's
trucks
good.
come in, how far in advance do they actually load them? Do they sometimes sit outside overnight to load them?
Sometimes we will preload them about 3 to 5 hours before, and we'll turn the reefers on, or turn on the freezer, or turn on the cooler, whatever it takes to keep the product good to go. And we do that. But like I said, we only do it about 2 or 3 hours in advance. That way you're not burning off fuel. When it hits the door,
Yeah, good thing you're out there.
Probably always got whacked.
I know that stuff happens, and I know
well, I might as well show you guys this. So besides running our runs all through here and putting, like I said, Devin's price, our B-right stuff and special orders, like they need to go on the back of a truck or in the nose of the truck, you put them right here. As you can see, it says B-right up there, and that beautiful handwriting of mine.
B-right, that's
B-right. Open door, B-right, special order. They need to have a special order, like you said, B-right, like a pallet, the stuff that's special, you can go on.